إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما أما بعد Allah says in Surah Luqman, Ya bunayya innaha in taku misqala habbatin min khardalin وتكون في صخرة أو في السماوات أو في الأرض يأتي بها الله إن الله لطيف خبير. O my son, indeed, if wrong should be the weight of a mustard seed and should be within a rock or anywhere in the heavens or in the earth, Allah will bring it forth. Indeed, Allah is subtle and all-knowing. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Today we'll be discussing the significance of small deeds, something that we don't pay too much attention to, be it a good small deed or a bad small deed. So when you think of a mustard seed, average size is 0.05 inches. It's hardly noticeable by a naked eye. And Allah is saying that whatever we are doing, even if it's the weight of a mustard seed, He's going to bring it forth. 0.05 inches. So Latif is the name of Allah, that He's always watching. He's subtle, the way He watches though. So we may not even realize that He's watching constantly over us. And just because someone is watching subtly, doesn't mean that they don't have a comprehensive view. And that's covered in His name, Khabir. So Khabir means He knows everything in the heavens and the earth. So accountability before Allah, every action, good or bad, has its consequences. So if there's a small seed that's hidden inside a rock, how many rocks are out there? How many rocks can be crushed? And crushed to that precision to get that particular seed out of that boulder or that rock. It's an impossible task for us to even fathom. And it's nothing for Allah. So all our small deeds, good or bad, will come to light on the Day of Judgment. On the same theme, in Surah Az-Zilzal, Ayah 8, Allah says, فَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. Whoever does an atom's weight of good shall see it. And whoever does an atom's weight of evil shall see it as well. Again, something seemingly negligent or something super small for us could be a major event for us on the Day of Judgment. In Surah Al-Kahf, Ayah 49, Allah says, وَوُضِيَ الْكِتَابُ فَتَرَى الْمُجْرِمِينَ مُشْفِقِينَ مِمَّا فِيهِ وَيَقُولُونَ يَا وَيْلَتَنَا مَا لِهَذَا الْكِتَابِ لَا يُغَادِرُ صَغِيرَةً وَلَا كَبِيرَةً إِلَّا أَحْصَاهَا. And the book will be placed before them. And you will see the guilty, fearful of what the book has. And they'll say, oh, woe to us, meaning we are done. What kind of book is this? It leaves out nothing small or great, but has recorded it. And nowadays, very, very easy for us to comprehend that. Whenever we go to public places, there are surveillance cameras, and we know that they are watching each and every of our move. So if we can manage it on our human level, then we can't again even fathom what could happen on the divine level. Because there, even what we are thinking, our thoughts, our heart, the matter of the hearts, will come to light as well. Surah Al-An'am, ayah 60. Allah says, Man jaa bil hasanati falahu ashru amsaliha wa man jaa bis sayyati fala yujza illa mislaha wa hum la yuzlamun. Overall meaning, whoever does a good deed will have 10 times as much. So that's the blessing of our good deeds. But who does an evil deed will be dealt with accordingly, meaning not 10 times the punishment, and they shall not be wrong. So again, a good deed could be compensated by 10 times or even more, and a bad deed might be dealt with on equal proportion. The Prophet ﷺ, on the same theme, has been quoted as saying, do not play down any good deed, even meeting your brother with a smiling face. So when you meet a family member, when I meet a family member, or a colleague, or a friend, or a cousin, when we smile at someone or greet them warmly, just by showing that nonverbal, you just smile. You got a good deed. And again, modern management is proving that concept as well, that we tend to relax more whenever you're smiling. That we keep that intention that you're smiling for the sake of Allah, even when the times are tough. Consistency in good deeds. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has been quoted as saying, the most beloved of deeds to Allah are those that are most consistent, even if they are small. Small but consistent. So sometimes I have a motivation and I say, okay, you know what, today I'm going to do some really good deeds, spend a couple of hours, do the same thing next day and the day after, and then I lose my steam. I lose my motivation. But if I say, well, I'm going to do something small, but I'm going to stick to it. And I won't let go no matter what happens. If I'm committing myself for 5 minutes of doing something, then I'm going to make sure that every day, no matter what happens, for those 5 minutes, I'm doing that particular deed. And that will form a habit that we're going to talk about. And the reward of a small deed, the one who guides to something good will have a reward similar to that of its doer. Subhanallah. We get the same reward as them. So you guide them someone the right way, and they end up doing the right thing. So they are getting the ajr for it, and we are getting the ajr for it. The same is true for vice versa as well. If I mislead someone to the wrong way, or tell something that it's okay, you know what, yeah, you can let it slide. Companies will say, yeah, you can use it for your own time. It's not that big of a deal, everyone's doing it. And they start doing it. So every time they're getting a bad deed recorded in their records, the person who's leading the wrong way will have the same kind of share as well. So something simple, small, something very, very simple and small that we don't even pay attention to, lying about something, sharing inappropriate stuff. Sometimes someone might say, they make a comment, this person is always late, even though they are only late for one particular meeting. And we say, yeah, you know what, this person, yeah, don't trust him. They're always late. So in our mind, we might think it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, they're coming late anyways. I'm not lying. But the moment I say they are always late, I'm generalizing that fact. Are they really always late? So I need to check myself before making that kind of comment. And that's one of the comments I can make in front of 5 people. Imagine I post something like that on social media. And then even after I die, people are still scrolling through those posts. So it's very, very important that we pay attention to what is it that we are sharing, especially on social media, without confirming it. That's our duty as a Muslim, to make sure that we validate the information before we spread it, because we will be held accountable for it. On the flip side, kindness and charity. You do some small act of kindness, helping a needy person, small amount of money. You're at a grocery shop, you see the person behind you, they only have 1 or 2 items. They're trying to count their cash. You could see that they may not have enough cash. You could offer to pay, if I could offer to pay, if I have the means, in a way that we don't compromise the dignity of the person that we're trying to help. And let them know, it's okay, brother or sister, you can pay it forward. And as long as they are paying it forward, we are getting a reward for it. So that should be something that we should internalize. More importantly, our time. For some of us, it's easy to give money. It's hard to give time. And time is very precious. Your time is very precious. Someone's struggling. You have an experience in that particular field for 20 years. You could afford to spare 15 minutes. But sometimes we don't. So the whole reminder for myself and yourself is, spare that time when someone needs it. Again, if they find some guidance through that time, we are going to get ajr for that as well. Don't undermine the importance of nonverbals. The way we greet someone, the way we talked about smiling at someone sincerely, making them feel welcome, is a small but a very powerful deed that we can do. It can uplift someone's mood and share positivity. People are struggling. Every one of us has some kind of baggage. I don't get to see your baggage, you don't get to see mine. But we all have some struggle behind the scenes. So the least we can do is to smile at someone. Let them know it's going to be okay. If you're cool, calm, and collected, then people around you will be cool, calm, and collected as well. So whenever we say kind and gentle words, or our non-verbals are there to help someone out, it doesn't cost us anything. That has major impact on someone's life. Offering words of encouragement when people are not feeling that the life is going their way. Their plans are not working out. And you offer some words of encouragement. Let them know that no matter how bad the situation is, we can get a handle on it. Express gratitude. We should always be thankful. So the way I talked about that we all have some kind of baggage, we have a lot of blessings as well. Inna ma'al usri yusran, inna ma'al usri yusra. In 1 year, there are tons of blessings that the brain tends to ignore. The brain would lock on one negative aspect and ignore all the positivity that's happening around us. So make sure that we're reasoning with the brain and letting the brain know that, paying conscious attention that no, I have family, I have roof over my head, I have groceries on my table. I'm sitting in a warm place. There's so many things that we should be thankful for. That sometimes we ignore, we take it for granted, we feel entitled. What am I entitled for? What did I do to deserve anything that I have? Sometimes people are down and we kick them to the curb. You suck. You can't do it. That's too difficult for you. Now, we are saying the words, but those words may bring someone down even further. But says, you could just say, you got it. I'm here for you. I'm your safety net. You can bounce back your ideas with me. I'm here to listen to you. Sometimes just by listening to someone, you can help them out quite a bit. And that's an ibadah. We think of ibadah only for 5 prayers and the 5 pillars. Listening to someone in the time of need is an ibadah as well. Praying for others. Make sure we are making sincere prayers for the well-being, guidance, and forgiveness of others, even for a brief moment. And subhanAllah, what a religion we have. We get ajr for having empathy for someone. Just by feeling that someone is having a rough time and I'm feeling bad for them, I get ajr for it. And if they come out of difficulty and they do some good deeds, again, I have a part in it as well. So good or bad deeds, no matter which way are we leaning towards, will contribute to our book of records as well. Make sure whatever we're doing, we're consistent in the act of worship. Praying on time, every time. And that gives us the discipline. The 5 prayers should be the milestones in our day, and the whole day is going to be planned according to the prayers, not vice versa. The prayers are not going to go into the schedule. The schedule is going to go into the prayers. They won't move. The schedule will move. Having that mind shift will make you much more productive. Giving small charitable donations. Reciting or understanding portions of the Quran daily. Small, consistent actions that accumulate great rewards. On the same token, we need to make sure that we are avoiding harmful speech as well. Backbiting, gossiping, lying, speaking badly about others. Even in casual conversation, especially in casual conversations. Because we think it's all fun and game. What's the big deal? We're just having fun. At the expense of someone else's dignity, I'm having fun. All that's here. We need to make sure we are taking steps to seek knowledge that's beneficial. Learning a new ayah from the Holy Quran. Understanding a hadith. It could be 1 line per day. But stick to 1 line per day. 1 line per day, stick to 1 line per day. And you'd accumulate a lot of knowledge by the end of the month and the year. Act of charity. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ encouraged giving regardless of the amount. And the practical way we could implement that hadith is to have some kind of auto withdrawal on our accounts or ad hoc payments. And every time we are spending in the path of Allah, think of it as an investment to your akhirah account or my akhirah account. It's an investment. It's a transfer from this account to the akhirah account. It's not an expense. Again, make that mind shift and it will help us quite a bit. Being punctual in our obligations. So we talked about being on time for our prayers and at our work and our other commitments as well. Again, it's not that I have to be committed to every good deed that's being taught to me by my religious obligations. So I have to pray 5 times. I have to be at work on time as well. And that's an ibadah as well. If I get to my work on time. Honoring the promises. وَالْمُوفُونَ بِأَهْدِهِمْ إِذَا عَاهَدُوا. Allah just says in Surah Baqarah, as one of the quality of muttaqeen in ayah bear. وَالْمُوفُونَ بِأَهْدِهِمْ إِذَا عَاهَدُوا. And they fulfill their promises whenever they make them. So make sure we don't make a commitment, but once we make a commitment, we follow through. 1% improvement. If we improve 1% per day, the compounding effect is that by the end of the year, we'll be 38 times better in that discipline. We will have a 3,800% improvement. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله. So how do we build a habit to make sure that we're doing small, good deeds on a consistent basis? Make sure we have clear goals, why I'm doing what I'm doing, reading a line of Holy Quran, or helping someone out in need. What's the why behind it, why I'm doing that, to get the ajr. from Allah. And He's going to pay me many, many fold. Start small. So make sure you're taking small, consistent steps. 1 line per day, or $1 a day, $1 a week, whatever we can afford. And then you increase it gradually to 2 lines per day, or $2. It could be $100 or $200, up to whatever your starting point is. Whatever our starting point is, only we know what's a better way to go about it. Create a routine. Consistency is the key. Every morning or every evening, I'll spend 5 minutes reading Holy Quran. Then the way I said, then no matter what happens, I need to spend 5 minutes per day, and that shows your brain that you are in charge. You got it. You have a control over it. Set the reminders. Life is going to happen to us. Life does happen. So when our schedules are too busy, make sure we have the reminders in our calendars, or your cell phones, or whatever your mode of being reminded is. And keep doing it until the habit becomes automatic. So we're reading 5 minutes per day without even realizing it that we are doing it. Don't turn off the reminder. Snooze it, so it keeps coming back. Because sometimes we are busy, we turn it off and then forget about it. Stay accountable. So make sure you hold yourself accountable at the end of the day. Did I finish what I promised I would? And if that's too difficult, have some friend, colleague, spouse, sibling, children, hold you accountable to that. And we do the same thing with them. So we kind of make it a fun, productive game with our family members, so they nudge us in the right direction when need be. Track progress. Whatever I can't measure, I can't manage. So make sure that we are tracking our progress as we go along. Be patient and persistent though, because sometimes you don't see the results right away and we give up. So make sure that we stay consistent, persistent, and patient. We are rewarded for our good intentions. We may be held accountable for any bad deed, so we need to be conscious of our actions and intentions, no matter how small or hidden they may seem. Strive to be good and be mindful. Keep doing good things as an investment for Akhira account. Keep praying for the oppressed and people in need of help. Be careful of seemingly small actions. May Allah keep us protected and on the right path, and help us to pray for the oppressed across the globe, especially in Palestine and Middle East and anywhere else in the world. Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama sallaita ala Ibrahima wa ala ali Ibrahima innaka Hamidum Majid. Allahumma barik ala Muhammadin wa ala ali Muhammadin kama barakta ala Ibrahima wa ala ali Ibrahima innaka Hamidum Majid. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanatan wa fil akhirati hasanatan wa qina azaban nar. Rabbana la tu'akhidhna in nasina aw akhtana. Rabbana wa la tahmil alayna isran kama hamaltahu ala alladhina min qablina. Rabbana wa la tuhammilna ma la taqata lana bih. Wa'fu anna waghfir lana warhamna anta maulana fansurna alal qawmil kafirin. Rabbana la tuzigh qulubana ba'da idh hadaytana wa hab lana min ladunka rahmatan innaka antal wahhab. Rabbana hab lana min azwajina wa dhurriyyatina qurrata a'yunin waj'alna lil muttaqina imama. Rabbirhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. Rabbirhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. Rabbirhamhuma kama rabbayani saghira. Aqim as-salam.